hell is this? No, seriously, what the hell is this? What happened here? How did you screw this up this badly? You're handed one of the biggest tabletop IPs next to Cyberpunk, and this is what you put out? How does someone screw this up this badly? Seriously, someone explain this to me, please. To preface this, I was legitimately looking forward to this game. I was honestly excited to get my hands on it. A hack and slash RPG set in the D&D world that's a successor to Baldur's Gate? Sign me up! This is going to be awesome! No, it's not awesome. It's not, and I'm sad. From the outset, the game's combat just feels very slow, clunky, and unresponsive. And by the way, I played as two separate characters, which you can't switch out whenever you want, by the way. You have to start a brand new save file for each character. Quite honestly speaking, the game's combat just feels very, very unintuitive. It feels like a chore straight from the get-go. None of my attacks feel impactful or heavy in the slightest, and I played as the supposed tank of the group. You would think that the devs would at least have a small idea of how to make the combat at the very least somewhat enjoyable, at least a little bit. But no, that is not the case even slightly. Not even close! Oh, I gotta calm down. Okay, so the game's story centers around a crystal shard that was created by 7 liches. The crystal shard eventually gained a will of its own and ended up absorbing all 7 of the liches into itself. And after that, a dude named Eckhart Kessel managed to find the crystal shard, which then took over his mind basically and caused him to raise a massive army and in turn wage war across a region called the 10 Towns. In response, the 4 champions of the 10 Towns rally the people of the 10 Towns, and they work together to create a counter army and manage to defeat Kessel and blow up his shiny giant tower. The 4 champions manage to corner Kessel, who's immediately swept away by a big avalanche, and he loses his hold on the crystal shard. Thankfully though, he's free from its brainwashing and he falls somewhere inside of the avalanche, but he recovers. The crystal shard itself though is lost inside of a network of caves inside the mountain, but because it's grown so powerful from Kessel's weak will and has a mind of its own, it instead manages to call out to other much more dangerous people who all want to get their hands on the shard. So the 4 champions vow to take a stand and completely destroy the shard once and for all. The story itself sounds really interesting. Unfortunately, the game it's attached to is not compelling in the slightest. I'm interested in the story, but playing the game itself is just not fun. Like, the levels aren't interesting to explore, and as I said already, the combat doesn't feel good or impactful in the slightest. In fact, the game's combat feels extremely repetitive and very unfun to do, and that is not good in your hack and slash RPG. The main mechanic of such a game is its combat, and the combat does not feel good or fun. It feels like a chore. I honestly felt no compulsion whatsoever to fight any of the enemies that the game presented to me. In fact, for a lot of my playthrough, I fought them once and then I ran away from them. And that is not a good sign. And again, one of your main mechanics is fighting enemies and beating the ever-living crap out of them. This is not good. And I'm sorry, but if I'm running away from your enemies that you placed in your hack and slash game, then you clearly did something wrong. And I mean, I could be wrong. I'm not a game designer. I'm not interested in armchair development, but I've played quite a few hack and slash games that this game claims to be a spiritual successor to, and each and every one of those games made fighting enemies a fun and compelling experience. This game does not do that. Also, I gotta be honest, the level design in this game is really not that good. It feels honestly very linear. I mean, sure, it's open-ended, you can go back and forth to the end and start of the level, but I don't feel really compelled to honestly explore any of these levels. They just feel like a bunch of lifeless corridors every time you manage to kill all of the enemies that are present. I'm sure I sound like a broken record at this point, but once... hang on, I was outside of the hitbox, right? You saw that. Yeah, I was outside of the hitbox. This game is $40, okay? This game on its own, the standard edition is $40. The digital deluxe edition and the steelbook edition are both $60 goddamn dollars. Yeah, they are totally worth the price, everyone. Completely and totally worth the price. There is one positive I absolutely have to mention. The ragdoll physics are amazing. Unfortunately, that really doesn't take away from the fact that the game is still pretty bad and not very fun to play. I'm sorry, but just because it has funny ragdoll physics doesn't automatically mean that my opinion is going to change. And are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me right now? Are you serious? Yeah, okay, sure, yeah. Okay, yes, that's totally and completely fine. I'm not angry. You all saw that? You all saw that happen with your own eyes, right? This entire endgame segment completely broke me and caused me to just give up on the game. I had to give up on the game after this. There was just no hope. And you all saw it. You all saw the glitches I had to deal with earlier. And they didn't stop. They refused to stop. They would not stop this entire segment, and I promise you, it nearly drove me up the wall. These glitches would not stop. They completely and totally broke me. I'm sorry, but this game fucking sucks. Do you understand me? This is not a good game. It is fucking garbage. It is terrible. Dungeons & Dragons Dark Alliance is a broken, glitchy, unbalanced, unfair mess with some of the absolute worst technical issues I have ever seen in a video game from 2021. I'm sorry, but one of the only other positives I could possibly think of is that the CGI cutscenes are fairly well animated. They look good, they sound good, the voice acting is a little hit or miss, but that is like one of the only positives I could ever think of. This game sucks. It is fucking garbage. In case you couldn't tell, I do not recommend this game at all to anyone. It is a bad game. It is horribly unbalanced, horribly broken with serious technical issues, and it just makes me so disappointed. This game is not good. This is probably the worst game of 2021 I have ever played. Do not play this. It is trash. And I promise you, I am not speaking in hyperbole here when I tell you to avoid this game like the goddamn Black Plague. I highly suggest saving your money for something else. Play Pillars of Eternity, Path of Exile, or Baldur's Gate 3. This game is not good and should be avoided at all costs. Don't be like me and make stupid decisions with your money and sanity, okay? There are so many good games out there that deserve your money. This is not one of them. Don't be like me. I make terrible life decisions. This game fucking sucks. So go ahead, do the responsible thing. save all of your money, and burn this game to the fucking ground.